You're listening to the Tom Green Podcast. This is Tom Green. I am the host of the Tom Green Podcast, which makes a lot of sense. Who else would be hosting it other than me? It's a great honor and privilege to have on the incredible Elle King on the show today. Elle King is a hugely talented songwriter and singer and television personality and actress. She is known for her huge mega hit song X's and O's, which earned her 2 Grammy Award nominations. You know the song X's and O's. You know that song? Okay, so I'm not going to sing it. That's not what you want to hear. But I'm very excited to have her on the show. I was lucky enough to get to know Elle through her father, Rob Schneider, and her uncle, John Schneider, who is my very good friend and business associate, producing partner. Through John, I was introduced to Elle and got to know her over the years. I was performing in Melbourne, Australia, and she was performing at the same time, and we went out to her show and had a great time. And her band is awesome, and she is awesome and funny and cool. And we're going to talk to her today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to her right now. I hope everyone's being safe. We're going to keep this podcast up. Tell your friends to subscribe. It's new. I'm bringing video cameras into the mix. A multi-camera, video camera, live switcher type situation. And we're going to have a show here, a TV hybrid radio show. It's going to be starting very soon. So you can watch that on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe on Spotify. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts and everywhere else that you get podcasts. Stitcher, all over the place, all these places. Okay, this is exciting. Elle King, she'll be joining us right now on the telephone. Hello there, Elle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for calling me. Thank you for calling me on my podcast. Yeah. Thank you for calling.
Thanks for having me on. This is cool. How are you doing? Happy Corona.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can you believe it? I've been quarantined, as I'm sure you probably are too, right? You're quarantined, right?
I am super quarantined, but what's messed up is that I got my wisdom teeth out before the quarantine. So I've been extra quarantined for like almost 2 weeks, longer than everybody else. So I'm officially insane.
Double quarantine.
Yeah.
Do you have a recording studio in your home that you can write and record and songs in, or are you doing music now, or how's it work when you're in quarantine?
I am. I'm actually in my studio right now. I've got a whole bunch of instruments. I make lots of music. It spans from like death metal to sad songs or pretty much just death metal. But
wow, really?
Yeah. I'm getting really hard over here.
Are you really doing some death metal for real?
Honestly, I make really weird, insanely dark, like hard rock music that I'll never play for anyone.
Oh, man. I want to hear.
Okay, I'll play it for you and only you.
Do you think you could find one that would qualify to be sneak peeked on the podcast here? Not. I don't know if I'm asking too much, but like one death metal one I could put at the end of the podcast.
You know what? I'll have to look through them. I will send you one. Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be so cool. We'll get like an unreleased death metal track from you. So that's is it interesting? Like, we're in this scary situation right now. Does that inspire you to write lyrics or write songs differently than if we were just in a normal non-pandemic type situation?
You know, if we weren't in quarantine, I still wouldn't leave my house.
Yeah.
So I feel like this has been kind of a strange and weird blessing, and like a universal, like, bad kids, stay home and think about what you've done. And so I've kind of, as we went into the quarantine, I had like some almost like optimistic feelings, and all of that has left me. the week one of quarantine, I had just started feeling better after getting my wisdom teeth out, and so I was like super gung ho about writing music. I was in my studio for like 6 or 7 hours a day. I started taking guitar lessons over Skype and stuff, and then I got totally burnt out. And now I'm on to starting a farm at my house.
A farm, okay.
So yeah.
So
I'm currently looking at assorted chick packages right now.
What packages? A what?
Baby chicks.
What? Really? You can just get like by FedEx? Do they send that? How do you get baby chicks?
They literally send you a box of baby chickens because we couldn't get eggs this morning. And so I was like, you know what? I had a chicken before once in my life, and she was wonderful. We had a great bond.
Yeah.
And you can get a coop online for like $150.
Not bad.
And it's no problem. You can just have baby chicks and raise them as chickens. So in about a month, if you need some eggs, I'll have them.
So wait, when you said you had a bond with your chicken in the past, what kind of bond is that? Does it look into your eyes? Does it?
I was dating this guy, and I think he got paid. He did sound for these underground dance parties in Brooklyn, and I think he must have gotten paid in a chicken. And at the time, I had a pet rat, I had a full-size pit bull, and 6 baby kittens that I was nursing back to health. And so he just brought this chicken home, and she and I bonded, and she would sit on my shoulder and put her beak over my forehead and hug me. It was a nice bond. I found a garden for her and everything, but now I own a house and I can have my own garden with my own, chicken 2.0s.
So this is sort of for the coming, we're in the middle of a scary situation. People are prepping. Some people call it doomsday prepping. I don't like to think of it that negatively, but you will have eggs, a source of eggs, constant eggs. How many eggs does a chicken lay a day?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's maybe 2 or 3. My chicken never laid eggs. She wasn't a layer. I think she was specifically as live poultry, was going to get eaten.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So she never laid eggs, but maybe she was living in a bedroom in Brooklyn. So I don't know if the conditions were right for her.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
learning
Brooklyn,
as I go.
Brooklyn hipster chicken, huh?
She was pretty hip, yeah.
Yeah, total hip chicken, yeah, for sure. A Brooklyn chicken. It's so cool it doesn't even lay eggs.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have to be stuck in that kind of chicken coop, But
Yeah.
what are you doing? How are you kind of navigating your way through this crazy time?
Well, I started this podcast again. I used to do this podcast all the time, and I've got my little recording studio at the house, and I plugged my microphone in, and I just started doing this podcast every day, and it's been fun. It's been a good way for me to talk to my friends. I've had a lot of my friends calling in. I've only been doing it for about a week or so, so I'm glad
awesome.
I'm glad you were able to jump on the phone with me. It's interesting. I think going through this whole thing has been somewhat revealing to me in a way also, because I feel similar to the way you feel, where I actually like being at home. I have things I like to do at home. I travel a lot when I do stand-up. You travel a lot when you tour. It's sort of a nice thing. Of course, not the reason why you want to have to go through something like this. I'm worried about everybody out there in the world and the people getting sick, and it's scary, but the idea of just being stuck in my house all day is not a bad thing. So I've been trying to figure out things that I've wanted to learn for a long time. I like recording in Pro Tools, and there's a lot, how complicated that program is. There's lots of details in there. So I'm kind of going in and trying to figure out some of the details in Pro Tools that I never figured out before. So that's been I'm also learning how to make spaghetti sauce out of lots of non-perishable storage items. I have when I say make spaghetti sauce, I have the spaghetti sauce already. It's in a jar. It's made by this company called Prego. It's amazing. I also have another one called Ragu. They're delicious. But the thing is, I add stuff to it. Okay, I add stuff to it that makes it better. This is what I mean when I make spaghetti sauce. So I also have canned San Marzano tomatoes, peeled tomatoes in a can. So it's like chunky tomatoes. Add that. add
Yeah.
some garlic, add some salt and pepper. And then another thing I have is canned artichoke hearts.
Oh.
I add the artichoke hearts to the sauce, and then I also have chicken. I hate to say it, but I also add
Yeah.
chicken. I probably shouldn't
That's
add
okay.
I probably shouldn't add chicken anymore though after your story that you just mentioned. I feel bad now.
No, that's okay. I mean, I don't eat meat, but it's okay. Everyone else is just going to go to hell for it. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
No, you put it that way. I'm definitely going to just stick with the artichoke hearts from now on. Actually, yeah. But well,
So are you ordering your food online? I am kind of obsessed with how people are kind of getting and hoarding their groceries right now.
yeah, I'd like to know what you're doing too. So what I initially did was I went and I actually kind of, I'm not going to say I foresaw this happening, but about a month before this all happened, I started seeing what was going on around the world and seeing how people were, isolating in their homes in Italy and in China and in Spain and all of these places. And I thought, geez, I better be prepared. So I did go out and get some canned food. I got canned tuna, I got pasta, I got canned artichoke hearts, I got canned mushrooms, I've got rice, beans, granola bars, oatmeal, butter, all the things that I like to have, cooking oil, all the things that I like to have to make food at home. And so I have that. And then I also have some food in the freezer as well, bread and some other things. But then I did just recently order some new stuff because I ran out of mayonnaise. And for me, that's a problem because I like mayonnaise on everything. Because I don't know, that's a weird thing, but I really like mayonnaise on a lot of stuff.
Is that like a Canadian thing?
It might be a Canadian thing.
I thought that was like a British thing.
I think it is a British type thing. Like I put mayonnaise on French fries, that kind of thing,
Yeah, but that's delicious.
So delicious. So anyways, I ordered this app called Instacart. I tried that. Have you heard of that?
I think I have heard of it, but no, I haven't used it.
It really worked, and they brought all these groceries, and then I sprayed them all off with the garden hose in the backyard to get the virus off of them. So I sprayed Lysol disinfectant spray all over my food, chemicals all over the food, and then I nailed it with the garden hose. Let it dry out in the sun for a while, and then I put it into a room that I don't enter very often. I left it there for 3 days, and now I'm starting to eat the soggy, chemical-infected food. It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. So
what about you? How are
feel
you?
healthy?
How are you feeding yourself? What are you doing? Do you have the chickens? But do you have sort of a pantry with items? Are you obviously we're not going out? Are you ordering meals in? What are you doing to keep healthy right now?
Well, I have a lot of weird, like late in life food allergies, which sucks.
Yeah.
So I have to eat kind of very like specifically, which is mainly just like veggie diet. I pretty much eat vegan, except I eat cheese and eggs. And I can't have flour, but I do sometimes, even though whatever. You got to make the best of it,
Yeah. Would you normally be touring right now, or would you be off? Did you have tours that were going that you had to stop because of this?
I feel very lucky that I didn't have to cancel a tour. I do have a tour from end of July in the fall. I'm opening it for Chris Stapleton. So if all things continue to, I don't know, I'm just praying that we don't have to cancel it. Right now, the shows are still on.
Yeah.
But no, literally everyone else I know have canceled spring tours. It's heartbreaking and really, really sad. I mean, I don't know if people even really know how much work goes into booking a tour and how many people are running this thing, behind the scenes, and how far in advance you have to book everything. And so to see my friends just kind of scrambling and trying to figure out what they're going to do is like super heartbreaking as a musician. But I didn't have to cancel anything. I didn't have any real shows planned until I think May. The only thing that got canceled, which was really sad for me, was that me and my friends, we got nominated for an ACM, which is an American Country Music Award, and we were supposed to sing it on the show, and the show didn't get to go through. So that was a little heartbreaking, but other than that, it's okay. I'm just depressed at home.
Are you being very careful about if a delivery comes or if anything comes into the home from outside the home? Do you kind of have to sanitize it and disinfect it, or because I did that? Like when I said that about my groceries, I really meant it. I really did nail it with the garden hose. That was a little bit of overkill because I was filming for Instagram and I thought it would be funny. But I also really did disinfect it before I hit up the garden hose. And then people are saying to me that I'm overreacting and that it's, they're in the comments, you're overreacting. And I'm like, I don't think I'm overreacting. I don't remember in my lifetime having everybody not be allowed to leave the house for months at a time. It doesn't feel like an overreaction to me.
No, that's how, I made my boyfriend fly from Boston out here because, I was still healing and like kind of crazy from getting my wisdom teeth out, and that was like a grueling experience for me. I know I keep talking about it, but it really left its mark on me. And I made him come out, and I told him that he couldn't come in. He had to like go straight in and take a shower from like being on the airplane and everything. And I was so paranoid, and like I would just burst into tears because I was so afraid. I thought that this was the end of the world, which, it still very well could be. We don't know what's going to happen. But I've calmed down a lot because, I don't know, I kind of just roll with the punches. But when I get a package, I'd say for the first week, I was like, spray it, put gloves on, don't bring it in the house yet, don't let the dog sniff it.
Right.
And now I'm a little more easy on it because I think that other people are taking such crazy precautions about these things that like most companies and most places are like, we're disinfecting everything before it leaves us, and our delivery people are like super safe and wearing gloves and everything. And so I don't know. I've kind of chilled out a little bit. I don't really leave the house. I've gone to Target. I've gone to a pet shop, and I do go to my dad's house for family dinner on Sunday night because I've got little baby sisters, and a little bit of normalcy, I think, is good throughout this.
Oh, that's so good. How's your dad doing? Please tell him I said hello.
I will.
Yeah.
He's doing really good. I don't know. It's weird because I think when all of this kind of settles and we like kind of like are looking down at what happened and like trying to like review it, a lot of good has actually come from this. It's forced, like my dad and I have really become so close, and like his family, like his wife and his two kids, like we see each other like more than we've ever seen each other. And now we're like all forced to be in Los Angeles. So we see each other once a week. We have dinner together. I go and like I bring crafts for my little sisters. And so it's really brought our family very, very close together, which is a beautiful blessing in and of itself, and weird ways to get us to that. But I'm grateful nonetheless. And I don't know. I just, you have to find the positivity in anything. I've never spent this much time. Like I own my house. I bought this house like 2 years ago. And in the last 2 years that I've owned this house, I've never spent this much consecutive time in the house. So I repainted my deck. I'm building a garden. I've never had the opportunity to do this because for the last 10 years, I've been grinding and touring and recording. And my dream is just like, that's what I'm nurturing. And now I can't go out. So I'm just like nesting and working on my house, which is something I've never gotten to do and making me feel very adult and very, I don't know, like grateful. So I'm finding a lot of gratitude through this. And I think that you have to. Because so easily you can just like get sucked down the rabbit hole of like, holy shit, this is the end of the world. Everyone's going to die. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But
is there going to be, you think there's going to be songs inspired by this on your next record? Quarantine song or a song about that somehow is inspired by what's happened in the world?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think that there's no way like that there isn't going to be a flush of creativity from so many artists and musicians and whatever creative outlet people have. I mean, you're literally forced to be in your like nook and creating. But yeah, I'm going to release some songs that I've written and, within the past couple of weeks. I've been doing co-writes from like Zoom, that like video chatting thing.
Yeah.
I've done like 5 or 6 co-writes with people from all over the country. And it's just been a really interesting experience. Some good, some weird. It's great.
Yeah, that's so cool. So much collaboration going on now on the internet because people are at home in their studios and doing stuff. Well, that's so cool. You must have. I'm going to ask you one last question about music, and then we'll probably just wrap it up. I just wanted to check in with you, and I don't want to take up your whole day. I know you got chickens to look after and stuff. But I mean, when you were a little kid, was there a moment when you realized that you had musical talent and understanding that other people didn't have? Because you're such an incredible talent, such an amazing songwriter and singer. And was there a point where you realized something was going on there? How did that work?
It's weird because I never really followed through with anything like lessons or anything. And I never had this thing like, oh my gosh, I'm the best singer, or I write amazing songs, or anything like that. It was always kind of like oh, hey, that sounds pretty good. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll start playing shows. And I was like 15 or 16, and my mom was like, I don't care what you do, just get out of the house. And so it just kind of it fell in my lap. And I've always, even when I was younger, I wanted to be much older than I was. And so I wanted to be in bars and on stage. And so the only way that I could do that was if I was writing songs constantly. And for some reason, it just kind of became this thing. And I never felt I've always felt like kind of an underdog, and I never come out in first place or anything, which is fine. It's great. And it's like a driving force in my life and in my career. But I don't know. I feel like I've had a lot of dumb luck, which has turned into...
No, because it's when you start singing and it sounds like the way it sounds when you sing, you must instantly realize, oh my gosh, I have a natural gift. I sound like Aretha Franklin, for crying out loud. You've got this soulful, voice that is amazing, and live it is so much fun. I remember we had a great time. I was performing in Melbourne, Australia when you were, and that was when I first got to see your show live, and we had a great night, and that was so much fun. And you bring such a lot of humor and entertainment to the show as well. I mean, it's just great. So I can't wait for us to get let out of our darned houses so I can come back to one of your shows again soon.
Yeah, me too. And I want to come see you live because you know that me and my band are obsessed with you. They think you're the coolest person in the world, and I really think that you are. I'm excited to come see you do some stand-up again, and I always have so much fun hanging out with you. But I don't know. This is just weird times, and it's driving me, and it's forcing me to regain my confidence and love for music and for writing and self-expression. So I hope that everyone finds good in all of this out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a consensus among many people who are thinking about this that there will be some good that comes from this at the end of this nightmare. So,
yeah.
Well, Elle, thank you so much. I appreciate you calling. Can't wait to see you soon when this is all over. And have a great day with those chickens, okay?
Okay, thank you. I'll let you know when I've got eggs.
All right, yeah. Yeah, send a picture of the eggs. I want to see the eggs. We'll post them up on the Instagram.
Okay, will do. All right, be safe out there.
So a big thank you to Elle King. That was so much fun. She's so much fun to talk to and really is just such an incredible talent. I would encourage all of you to go see her live when she comes to your town when this pandemic is over. She's always touring and putting out music and is just incredible. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. We'll have another show soon, tomorrow probably. Basically do it every day. I'm plugging in these cameras though. It's going to be great. I have all sorts of fun stuff to show you, and you'll be able to watch the show now. You'll be able to watch it on youtube.com/Tom Green, my YouTube channel. So go subscribe to that. Also, I'm going to be putting up lots of weird and wacky videos on the YouTube channel that I'd love you to check out. So subscribe to that. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Tom Green, on Twitter at Tom Green Live, and on Facebook. And go to tomgreen.com. Lots of fun videos there too. Tell your friends to subscribe to the podcast everywhere you listen to podcasts. And just stay up to date with this. We're going to be putting new shows up all the time. I want you to stay up to date with the shows. It's happening in real time right now. I'm home, alone, waiting for you guys to leave a comment on my Instagram so I can see that you're there and feel less alone in my home, because I'm alone in my home right now. It's weird. I've been alone in my home now for a few weeks. I was gonna go to Canada and self-isolate with my family up there, my parents and my brother. But I figured, I'll just stay here in Los Angeles and I'll do some podcasting. And how long could this really be, right? That's what I thought. And now it looks like it's going to be a few months. But I can tell you one thing, I'm really getting good at this podcasting. Really getting good at it. Producing it all myself. I think you'll notice that the sound quality is improving every day. That's because I've been doing a lot of research and connecting with some of the top minds in the field of audio engineering and doing everything I can to make this show sound great. So I appreciate all the positive feedback I'm getting online, and I look forward to interacting with you all more very soon. Okay? So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, everyone.
Hey, hey.